won't turn on, so I'm gonna talk as close to the camera as I can. Act like I'm changing it up, the same shit every day. Pump, cabbage free, dragon fruit. Code Dunne saves you money. We don't have our shaker because we're using our shaker for protein. Okay, what is up YouTube? I have not done a video in probably like 8 months, maybe more, I don't know.
It's quite a bit of time.
But I figured what better time to get back into YouTube than with prep. So for those of you that don't know, me and Carla are both competing in bikini. We're 11 weeks out, we have the same coach, same show, so we're kind of living the same lives. No, we're kind of living the same lives right now, but hopefully we will be up against each other because that means we both made it through the overall. So, a lot of you on my Instagram to ask a few questions. The story's not up anymore and I don't know how to pull it up, but what inspired you to start prep and really dive into fitness? I feel like we were both like already in fitness, but prep for me, I don't know. I feel like I kind of wanted to like take it to the next level. I think the move down to Florida and like changing the gym that I was going to really changed my perspective of prep. I kind of always saw it as like, oh, like that'll never be me. Like I don't really want to ruin my relationship with lifting or food or anything like that. So I kind of never saw myself doing it until I moved to Florida. And like, for those of you that don't know, I go to Revive. So there's like a lot of bodybuilders that train there, and like watching them go through prep and like their training intensity, it was just very motivational. So I was like, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. What about you?
I always wanted to do bodybuilding, but I just never felt like I had the physique to compete. So I think I just kind of reached a point where I'm like, okay, I think I have enough muscle. Now I just need to like actually train correctly. And like I joined a bodybuilding gym and that made a huge difference as well. Everyone around me like competes, everyone's a pro, and it's very motivational.
Yeah, and my 40 is very similar to my gym too. So
yeah. I was surrounded by like pros and competitors, and it made me want to do it.
First meal, actually, we might be a little too far off to start talking about this, but a lot of people ask first meal after we're done with prep. After we're done our show. Let's put it that way.
I think we're all probably gonna go out for food, right? So
yeah.
like, it's gonna be like a restaurant. I'm thinking like a big plate of pasta.
That's what we were both thinking, like some kind of Italian food, like I need some kind of like
carbs.
Breaded chicken.
Yeah, I wanted like a lot of pasta and chicken
and bread.
And bread.
And I feel like most people are like, oh, like cookies, like whatever.
I
like
just want food.
I want pasta.
I want like meat. I've been really craving like protein French toast, which isn't even unhealthy. So like I go with protein powder and
but it's just the bread.
But it's good.
Frozen fruit. Wait, I've been seeing this thing called True Fruit that everyone has. It's like dark chocolate and it's like dipped all over the fruit. So you eat it in like bites. It's I don't know if you can really touch on this, but I had a few people because of my previous story post asked about this. They said thoughts in competing after experiences with an eating disorder. So I would highly recommend do not go into prep if you are not like 3,000% healed from your eating disorder. If you're like just like a couple months fresh of like getting past that, I would not recommend, or if like you're known to relapse, I would not recommend going into prep. It's not easy mentally or physically on the body, especially with how strict dieting is. I have not like thought about like my eating disorder relapse or anything like that since I started fitness. Like I never had that problem of going back to it. So in my head, like it wasn't even a thought of like, oh, like I wonder if this will affect like or trigger any eating disorder habits. But so far, like we both talked about it, we don't really have cravings. Like our food that we eat is good. Like we enjoy eating it.
It's amazing to us. Every meal is amazing.
Yeah, the portions may be smaller than we'd like, but the food is still like overall very good. So like yeah.
Yeah. I can't lie, my TikTok For You page is all food, but I like but I like just watching it and like looking at it, and I'm not suffering. Like I'm not craving junk food or anything like that. But I would say don't go into prep unless you feel like fully ready mentally, physically, and financially.
If you look at like my recently followed on Instagram, it's like food accounts. But it's like not like bad food. They're not making like cakes and ice cream. It's just like different ways to make chicken.
Mine are cakes and ice cream, and then competitors.
No, because we were talking about like how prep has like changed our mindset. So like after prep, we're gonna have this whole different way of like eating healthy and just like kind of making our food better. Does that make sense? Just in more like quantity, like wise.
Healthy, like eating more healthy food.
Yes. Because first started cutting. How many calories did you cut down in the first few weeks? So I think it was pretty similar for both of us. I think each week it was about like 50 to 100 calories, and like an introduction of a little bit of cardio. So as long as your body stays responding, you can keep it at that. But once it stops responding, like that's when you back off a little, let your body like rest, get your muscles back to where they need to be, and then like keep pushing. So like that's just how it was with me.
Yeah,
it was the same.
I know for me, the first couple weeks my weight really didn't drop much, but I feel like my body did recomp quite a bit. So we did keep dropping my food and upping my cardio every week for a while, and my weight was staying more or less the same, which was discouraging. And then it kind of all dropped at once. Like,
I saw like some other ones before. Let's get into like the real juicy topics that I mentioned earlier. So like a lot of girls were asking about like hormone levels and how that affects sex drive and having our like monthly cycle. Okay. So what about for you?
So for my cycle, I have an IUD, and so I haven't had a period in like years. So I can't really speak on that. For my sex drive, it's for me drastically lower than it used to be. I just don't have that much energy, and if I'm being honest, like I used to think about sex all the time before. It's all I could really think about, honestly.
Geo.
And now I just like it's not that high up in my mind.
So for me, I'm still at a very healthy body fat. Like this isn't like something like I'm not lean enough to the point where I would lose mine. I've been on birth control since I was like 15 for like other like hormonal reasons. So I've been on like pretty consistent with it. I still have my period. I don't think I'll lose mine, to be honest, because when I had my eating disorder, I was way leaner than I am now, and I still had it then. So I have a feeling like I'll just keep it because my hormone levels will hopefully be okay. As for the sex drive, we kind of mentioned this a little earlier. Thanks. Look at her being so sweet. We kind of mentioned this a little earlier. So yes and no. Like when my energies are low, like on low carb days, probably not. Probably not. But like high carb days, I feel like self-confidence is up. So then sex drive is also up on those days. Because I feel like before when I was like bulking, I was like, I wasn't feeling my body, I wasn't feeling myself, and then now like I see like small changes and like progress in the gym, I'm like, she'd be cute if she could look cute in bed, you know?
That makes sense for sure.
But ain't nobody seeing me in bed, so.
Neither of us. I'm not getting any, but it's fine. When I'm really struggling and I message you and I'm like, Erin, I cannot get up because I'm tired. I don't have energy. And she's like, Sam, I do feel a little better.
Yeah, like we were both like, oh, I'm so excited you're coming this week and we can cry together.
Yeah, we can lay in bed together and do nothing.
Yeah, I think before this video we laid there and just edited pictures and did not speak for like an hour right after eating our meals. So I feel like that's like pretty much how my days go.
Yeah.
I get home from the gym and I eat and I just don't move.
And just at the gym, like everyone kind of knows I'm in prep and they're very helpful. Like they'll come talk to me when I'm dying on the Stairmaster. They'll like ask me how I'm doing. They'll tell me I'm looking like leaner or whatever I need to hear, and it's very helpful. So just surround yourself with good people.
I wish when people are back talking to me about prep. I feel like nobody really knows because like I don't even know. There's so many like bodybuilders. Everyone kind of just like does their own thing.
That makes sense. It's also a bigger gym.
Yeah.
My gym is
I feel like
small.
it's more
Everyone
closer.
knows each other.
Yeah.
Everyone talks.
So somebody asked me, like, they saw I was traveling, and like they're like, how are you doing this in prep? Like, how do you go around like social situations? So what I responded to people is, don't overcomplicate prep. If you want to go somewhere for a weekend, all you need is your food and a gym. As long as you're training, you're getting in your cardio, you're getting in your meals, nothing else like has to be done. Like, you can still travel. Like, I brought my meals to the Arnold this past weekend. I brought my meals here to come see Carla. So I'm getting my meals, I'm getting in my training sessions, my cardio sessions, and that's all I need to do. Other than that, like, my time is up to me. But yes, as like prep gets closer, I mean, as the show gets closer, it's gonna get harder and I'm not gonna have the energy to even travel or to do all of this. But while you're still like high energy, while we're still like 10, 12 weeks out, I still have like enough time to come see her, prep my meals, like stay away from home for a little bit. But
I was gonna say, we both did an 18-week prep, or we're both doing
20.
20, okay, yeah. It's been a long prep, so
Yeah.
if since the beginning we were super, super strict with everything and like not having fun,
Yeah.
then it would probably be very mentally exhausting, and by the end of it, like, who knows if we could make it. So towards the beginning, definitely don't be too hard on yourself. Like, still take those trips and stuff. Obviously, be mindful, be careful. I took one for like a sponsorship, and I definitely wasn't as on track as I could have been at home. So I'm gonna try and travel less, like the deeper I get into prep, but you can still kind of allow yourself a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, especially because like self-isolation and prep, like you never want to do that. Like, you still want to make time for your friends and your family. But other than that, I did not see many questions. I feel like we talked on a lot. I don't want to make this video super long since usually attention spans are not that long. Because I know when I'm watching YouTube, I'm like, if they're talking too much, I'm like, next. Have you ever heard of an outro?
No, but
Like an intro, but an outro?
I got that part.
Okay. This is Carla. I'll put her Instagram in the description so that you can follow her if you like to. But like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos. Hopefully I'll get like one a week, or kind of do like a prep episodes kind of thing, a countdown until show day. But other than that, thank you guys. Love y'all. Also, thanks for 70K on Instagram. I just saw that before we got on here. So, have a good one.